Greetings, family. It's really an honor to speak with you right now. I have a message that I want to share, and I feel that it's a very important message because it's going to assist you and support you in your life. So much is going on in this world, more than we can even talk about. Things have happened that we may never understand intellectually. But there is a reason for everything. So today, I would call this chat, "We've got a lot of healing to do." And part of the healing is learning the truth. Not the truth that we see with our senses, the things that we see, touch, hear, smell, but the higher truth, the truth as to why we are here, what our purpose is, and who we really are. On the earth, I'm a poet. I'm a singer, I'm a songwriter. I'm an author. I've written a few books, and I have some CDs that I've written some music. But I'm more than just what you see. And you are more than what you see and maybe even feel. In truth, we are made of clay, but we are light. The truth is we are conscious beings, conscious light beings in a human clay vessel. In the heart of man. But not many people know that. And the only reason I know it is because I've had some teachings of higher consciousness. Let's break down the word consciousness. Con is with in Latin, and S-C-I, conscious, is knowledge. So I want you to contemplate on what consciousness is, and what it means for you to be conscious. The youth, anyone under, let's say 25, they say, get light. It's time to be woke. So there is an awakening that's happening with us as human beings. And some of this awakening is coming from, we're being forced to awaken because there's so much trauma going on in the world. And it's a lot of chaos, a lot of confusion, and people are searching. Many people are searching for the truth. Why are we here? Who are we? What are we here to learn? So in this awakening, we're like little babies opening our eyes to a new insight. They say perception is everything. So what is perception? Perception is what we are feeling and experiencing through the 5 senses. There is more going on than what meets the eye. So in order to see, the lights must be on. You must turn on the lights within. And how do you do that? It's not from reading books and intellectual information. This information that I'm talking about is coming from the source, coming from the divine light, coming from the Creator. And it comes under the category of wisdom. And wisdom, when it's distilled down to the earthly level, is discernment. That means you can see what's real and what is not real. It's discernment, and it's common sense, which is, as we know, not so common. So, how do we gain this wisdom? How do we get to live it, to practice it? Well, there are holy books, there are scriptures. There's the Bible, there's the Bhagavad Gita, there's the Quran, there's the Guru Granth Sahib, which is the Sikh scriptures. There's the Torah, the first 5 books of the Bible, I believe it's 5, the Old Testament. And in these books, there is an ample amount of wisdom. There is an abundance of wisdom and teachings. And then there's a way to learn straight from the Creator through meditation, of which you get revelations. Okay, so I'm giving you some fundamental things to think about as to why these books and scriptures, and then you have oracles, you have holy men and holy women that have a direct connection to this source. It's very difficult to get this information without being trained, without being taught or discipled or mentored. My mother was my first teacher. She was a force. So I was trained with a lot of what I'm sharing. Then there's nature herself. If you really get stressed, traumatized, you can always go out to nature, breathe in some deep fresh air, sit quietly, and just be still. And you can get a lot just from nature. It's a matter of what you give your attention to and what it is you're seeking. So not everyone is seeking for this information, and now I'm understanding why it seems so challenging. Because we're like puzzles. Life is like a big puzzle. We all have pieces to our puzzle. There are 7 billion of us on this planet called Earth, and there are 7 billion different perceptions about what the truth is, about why we're here, what we understand and what we don't understand. And we all have been given something that is pretty interesting if you think about it. Everyone has been given a trauma when they come to this earth. This earth plane, this physical plane, is not a cakewalk. And there's no way I can color code this, because we all have an inner code within us. We all have a blueprint already sealed within us. And suffering, trauma, is really can be an inspiration as to find out why we're here. We all have been given a trauma. This earth isn't, it's kind of like, it's a place that is filled with deception and it's filled with negativity according to our five senses. Our trauma is an inspiration to help us, oh my God, get out of pain. No one wants to be in pain. So let me share the way the trauma can appear. It can appear as ill health. Some people have been given a handicap to deal with or a negative experience to deal with. It could be abuse, it could be physical abuse, mental abuse, it could be grief. We lose a parent early in life. We lose a friend. We get traumatized by an event that occurs as we are developing from the womb to the first 7 years. Everyone. And it's called an issue. Now this issue is what we're here to learn from, understand, and overcome or accept. And you can't do it without being connected to the power plant, the power source, the creator, however you are inspired to think about it. Some call it God, some call it the divine light, the divine design. It is the creative source. I refer to it as the creator or the divine light, the source. Whatever resonates within you, it does exist because we didn't make ourselves. Okay. Now, everyone wants to be, so they say, happy or have good experiences on this earth. They may or may not happen according to the puzzle and how many pieces we get. I know people that have handicaps. They can barely think clearly, but they are so beautiful in their souls. So they may be diagnosed with, a handicap, autism, or any mental handicap. But they are bouncing around with so much joy, so much love in their spirits. They're here to share their presence through their handicap. I know people who are so beautiful to look at and traumatized to the core, don't have an ounce of joy, not an ounce of bliss. It's a mystery. It's a mystery what makes us who we are and how we interact and how we experience life. But it can be the pieces to the puzzle can be put together if we are seeking, but it's not laid out for us like, people read the scriptures and they don't get it because they're trying to get it intellectually. Those who are really seeking for the truth, for the higher truth, it is revealed. It is revealed by being in the proper atmosphere, by being in the presence. The truth is provided for us as a gift. The soul / spirit, understand the concept, this higher aspect of our being can perceive this higher truth if we really are seeking for it. Now, it requires a passion. It requires a passion to know the truth. So let me get back to the issues. Because we, as human beings, often isolate ourselves and we feel alone because of these issues. These issues, again, are part of the life experience. But what we don't know is that they can be worked through, they can be overcome, or they can be accepted. And we can still have peace, joy, love. But we can't heal these issues, and we can't do any of this on a permanent basis without being connected to the source. In this connection, we can rise above our earthly mindset and go into a whole nother consciousness. So what does it feel like to be connected? We're all connected. Now I'm talking about a deeper connection. You'll have divine love. I'm not talking about emotional love. Emotional love is of the world. This divine consciousness of love comes through us, and it is to be shared. It comes through us in the form of serving each other, loving, and giving our joy and peace to the table, to share at the table of life. It is a aspect of the God consciousness, this divine love. This bliss, this joy is an aspect of the higher consciousness. Immortality, which means, yes, the body will die. The body will leave. We will go back to the earth. But the soul never dies. Connectedness. We will feel connected to all of creation. And this is a very important aspect. Because, there's a theory, this race theory, that there are like 5 different races, and this is, no. The truth is, there's only one race. It's important to know this. It comes in different hues, but the DNA, the DNA, 99.99%, no matter what race you have been called, 99.99% of our DNA is the same. We come from different areas in the world. Hot, the tropical area, Africa, and that's anthropology. That's another conversation. But it's important to understand that our true identity is not our race. It's not our culture. It's our soul. It's who we are. Deep within, beyond what we see and feel. And that is the search. Then there is fearlessness. When we are connected to this source, we have a protection. We have a divine protection that nothing happens that is not supposed to happen to us, because we are doing the work and service and sharing what we are here to do. We're on our purpose. We're on point. I'm putting a lot out on this table. I'm going to do more videos where I take aspects of what I'm sharing and go deeper. I'm putting a lot out there for you to chew on right now because of the trauma that people are experiencing, feeling that they are the only ones suffering. And this suffering is causing addiction, and it's causing us separation from each other. When you are connected and feel the oneness with creation, it is nothing like it. It is true success as a human being. This is very challenging for me right now, because I really wish that I had you here. You could ask questions, and you could give your input, you could give your insights, you could give your understanding. But I want to give you some things that you can do. There are some things that we must do in order to experience this higher consciousness. Purification cannot be avoided. For those of you that want to experience this, purification is necessary. Why? Because we are dealing with a system. This body is a system, and most of us don't know how it works. We don't know how to eat. We have been programmed to oppose our higher consciousness. That's why I say we're a young species as human beings. This is not just me saying it. This is what is actually apparent. You just have to look around. You don't destroy a planet the way we as human beings are destroying it. 7 wars are going on as I speak. That is not human behavior. That's animalistic behavior. That's lower consciousness behavior. So how do we live in an unconscious world? Well, we do need to know the truth. The truth in how to eat, how to think, how to process things that we've been through, traumas, things that have happened to us from an early age that have stressed us out. We don't understand. These are issues. These are issues that are causing us to drink and smoke and sedate ourselves in any way we can. That's why I'm sharing this information, which I call aspects of the truth. Now we are dawning on an awakening of consciousness. We've been like sleeping beauties, and we've been in a lot of pain. Okay, let me just share quickly. It's not about me. My stress, trauma came at 3 months old from an operation that was given to me at 3 months old that traumatized me my entire life. I couldn't take a breath. I couldn't take a deep breath. I wasn't getting enough oxygen to my brain. Half my head of hair fell out. So I learned a little something in this life. I was passionate about my healing. I was passionate about wanting to know God, wanting to be a servant. Some of you have been traumatized with physical abuse, sexual abuse from a parent, from a brother, on and on. There are 7 billion different traumas. I could have never healed myself without the help of the Creator. And fortunately, my mother gave me a lot of information and a lot of training. I was trained like a soldier. So those of you that don't want to discipline, be disciplined. And you want to do it your way, feel free. You can do it your way. But I can promise you along the way, you will make some wrong turns. I made many wrong turns. I am not saying that I am any more conscious or higher than anyone that's listening to me. What I am saying is that I made enough mistakes. I made enough mistakes to surrender my will. And I studied hard enough and kept seeking long enough that I was forgiven a lot of things that I have done from being unconscious. So right now, the question is, do you want to be woke? Or do you want to stay asleep? If you want to be woke, work on purification. Purify your diet. Right now, you need some minerals in your system. Minerals help turn on the electrolytes in your brain. It's hard to process anything without having enough substance in your body to do so. Consider, I'm going to share this book with you that I've written. It's called Align with the Divine. And I put a lot of information, insights, and things that you can do to get woke. I'm getting signals that I don't really understand right now. So I am going to take a break.